Hi my loves, welcome back, welcome to my channel, welcome if you guys are new. It's time for our favorite video of the month. I hope it's your favorite video. It's definitely my favorite time where we get to pick our TBR for the following month. I have high hopes for the month of September. That is insane because I don't have a very busy month for the first time in a long time. I think I'm going to be able to read as much as I can. Now I have done pretty good this month, but I'm actually filming this early because I'm going to be on holidays when this comes out. But like there is no way we were missing out TBR video for the month, so we're filming it early. As usual, we're going to be letting a TBR wheel pick my prompts for the month of September. I have a good few prompts, maybe like 12 or so prompts, and we're going to pick 5 or 6 of those prompts to go on our TBR for the month. I tried to include some different prompts this month because I thought it would kind of be fun. I also get questions about what wheel I use. I literally just look up wheel of names and I click the first one that comes up and put in my own prompts instead of names. It makes it nice and easy, and choosing your TBR super fun. Also, if you have noticed that my lip is a little bit swollen, no you haven't. We're just going to ignore that. I had a little allergic reaction to something, okay? I'm easily agitated and we're just not gonna talk about it, okay? You probably didn't even notice it until I brought it up, but anyway. We're gonna pick our first prompt for the month. Genuinely, this is such a good prompt to start with. This is a book under 320 pages. I need some short books for my TBR. I honestly do. I have a few that comes to mind, one in particular. Let me go grab them. Okay, we have 3 options. I don't know if these are under 320 pages, but we'll find out. First one is There's Two Sides to Every Murder. This one is, 277 pages. This is tiny. This would be fun. I actually have no idea what this is about. I've got a few thrillers that have just been on my TBR for a long time now. This says, welcome to Camp Lost Lake. Most people's births aren't immortalized in a police report. Olivia was born during the infamous Camp Lost Lake murders, but when she starts digging into events of that night, the official story starts to fall apart. Most people don't spend their childhood on the run. Reagan's mother might be considered guilty of the murders, but Reagan knows she is innocent. Tired of running, she returns to Lost Lake to clear her mother's name. But someone is dead set on keeping the past hidden and will kill again to do so. I'm not entirely sure if this is a YA thriller or it's an adult. I feel like it's giving YA, but this could be really fun because I mean, who doesn't love a good short mini thriller that's apparently under 300 pages? The other option, I don't know if this is under 300 pages. Let me check. Or 320. No, this is 350 pages. This was the 3rd book in the, what is this called? Dream Harbor series. I've been putting this off because obviously it's Christmas themed, but you know, we're slowly getting closer to Christmas. Okay, the other one was Everything We Never Said. This is 300 pages. This is also a thriller. And again, just been sitting on my bookshelf for a while. They say the dead keep the best secrets. It's been months since her best friend Haley died, and everywhere Ella looks, she is reminded of her, including Haley's boyfriend. Little by little, the two grow closer until Ella realizes something horrifying. She's in love with her dead best friend's boyfriend. That's interesting. I'm not obsessed with that trope. I feel like I could get really irritated at that. I do want to read this obviously, but I think we're gonna go with Two Sides to Every Murder. This just seems like a fun little YA thriller and I feel like that's what I need. So that's gonna be the first book on our TBR. The next book is, or the next prompt is, a reread that I've been wanting to do. I have so many and I always find it really hard to pick rereads because like I want to read books that I haven't read yet on my TBR, but I also, I have some options. Okay, my 2 instant options are Beach Read by Emily Henry. I have been wanting to do a reread of this for a long time now because I read this such a long time ago, and this is the US cover that I got recently. So when I get like a new version of the book, I kind of am like, I want to reread it. I remember absolutely loving Beach Read, but honestly, book lovers and Beach Read are kind of a little bit intertwined in my head, so I want to read them to remember the difference between them because I do remember really enjoying this one, and I've been dying to do a reread of it. The other one is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This just tugs on my heartstrings. I'm absolutely obsessed with this book, but genuinely haven't read it in a good few years. This was one of the first like BookTok books I read, and I was just blown away by it. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid as an author. She is so incredible. I've loved every single book I've read by her. So I really want to do a reread of this one as well. I'm really torn, honestly. I feel like I'm gonna go with 7 Husbands because I think I'll do a reread of this in summer, obvious reasons. And I feel like this is more suited for I'm a mood reader, so I very much like to read the kind of atmosphere related books. I'm still in winter, so I think 7 Husbands will be better suited, even though it kind of is a summery setting in a sense. But I just have been dying to reread this, so I think we're gonna put this one on the TBR. Our 3rd prompt is, oh my gosh, great, there we go. A book over 400 pages. I got the the shortest book and the longest book prompt. Okay, I obviously have so many choices for this. I think immediately my first thought goes to What Blooms from Death by S.M. Gaither. This is a new fantasy book I got sent a while ago. This is quite a thick book. It is 660 pages, so it is quite thick. But so far we've got two quite small books in our TBR. It says, Princess Bellanova has spent years in exile after escaping the curse that cast death-like slumber over her family. Her talents for necromancy and thievery have kept her alive and given her a fearsome reputation. But survival isn't enough. Lumiere, the blade of light, lies deep in the belly of the underworld. Stealing it back into the realm of the living could undo the curse and restore her family, her reputation, her kingdom to life. All that stands in her way are monsters, unpredictable magic, and Alexander, the infamous Light King himself, who wielded the blade on the night of her family's ruin. It sounds really fun. I love when like necromancy is involved in books. Why am I getting Sleeping Beauty vibes from this? But anyway, it actually sounds really good, and the font is such a good size, which I'm so happy about. I'm very intrigued by this one. And like the cover is so cool. I feel like this is going to be our option. I just wanted to check if this book was over 400 pages. Technically it is. This is Us Against You by Frederick Backman. The second book to Beartown. I have been meaning to read this for a while now. This is just over 400 pages. Hopefully, I think we're going to try and pick this for a different prompt because I'm really intrigued by this one at the moment. And I feel like I really want this one on the TBR. We'll try pick that one for another prompt though. So let's do our fourth prompt. I think we'll probably be able to do 6 prompts this month. A book you're scared of. This does fit that prompt easily. You guys know I've been avoiding this series for a long time because Beartown, the first book in this series, I absolutely loved, but it broke my heart. Like I was so heartbroken after that. Please look up trigger warnings before you go in because they're very intense themes. I loved it for that. But like, it was a lot. It was a lot to read and I have been so scared of going into this book because of that. I do think this book fits the prompt perfectly, but let me see if we have any other books as well. Look, we do have 2 other books that fit this prompt, but I do not think they are likely that I'm going to choose them. The first book is The Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. This is the second book in the Stormlight Archive. These books are so big that it really intimidates putting them on my TBR because I know that that's like all our focus on. I do want to read this one really soon because I read the first book recently. You guys have seen that vlog, I'm sure. And all of you have said that this book is like 100 times better. Like this is your favorite book in the series and I am so excited to get into it because of that. I don't know if next month's the month. I don't know. I feel like I almost want to mood read this one. I kind of want to pick it up when I'm feeling it most. And this one just terrifies me to put it on the TBR. So I don't think we'll put it on the TBR. Yes, I am absolutely terrified of it, but I am also terrified of other books that I could choose. The other one is Priory of the Orange Tree. I haven't read this book yet. And again, purely the size. This one isn't as long. It's actually only 790 pages, which compared to Brandon Sanderson is like on the smaller side. I am really hoping that I will love this book when I get into it one day, but I also just am kind of a little bit scared and I really want to get into Samantha Shannon's world. I know she is meant to be an incredible author. I know Jamie absolutely loves her books. So The Bone Season by her is apparently really great as well. This one just really scares me. I don't know why. I've just never really felt a pull to it, but I'm also very intrigued to see what it's about because I know it has like a great reputation. So these are 2 that I'm definitely very scared of as well, but I think I'm gonna wimp out. Like I know that's not the point of the prompt, but I'm also really scared to read this one because I was traumatized in the best way possible by Beartown. Like as in it broke my heart and ripped it out and like I felt like my soul was just put on display. So I feel like that's what's gonna happen with this one as well. Any Frederick Backman book, honestly. These are all very scary reads though, in their own way. These 2 kind of more so similar because they're just massive. But I think we're gonna go with Us Against You by Frederick Backman. We'll get to these books soon, but we've already got quite a big book on the TBR. So yeah, we're gonna go with this one. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys, but you guys know I'm a mood reader. Who knows what I'll pick up? Okay, let's do 2 more prompts, shall we? Mythical creatures or myths involved in the book. This is a very fun prompt. Might have to look at some Kindle books for this one. Okay, I have like 1 physical book, but I want to look at some Kindle books because I've been trying to use my Kindle Unlimited subscription a little bit more. And I feel like there could be some books on Kindle. So let us see. When does Mate by Ellie Hazelwood come out? I am really intrigued in that. Comes out the 7th of October. Okay, that's too far away. There is a book called Direbound. I don't know. I think we have direwolves in that. I'm not entirely sure. But I have been seeing a lot of people be absolutely obsessed with this. Of course, it's not on Kindle Unlimited, where humans and direwolves forge unbreakable bonds and fight for survival at all costs. So that is an option because that sounds really fun. I've seen a few people like Emmy absolutely loved that. that one. I'm sorry if the lighting changed at all, by the way. It's just suddenly gotten sunny, which is lovely. Okay, so we have Diabound. We also have, this is actually the second book. I don't know why I have the second book and not the first, but the first is A Fate Inked in Blood. I've been wanting to read this series because the main protagonist's name is Freya. So I'm very intrigued in that. And I've heard a lot of really great things. So I feel like I'm really drawn to this one. I can either read the first one on Kindle or it gives me an excuse to go book shopping and get the first one. I'm hoping I can find it in this big cover though, because I've only seen it in the smaller cover that's recently come out. Obviously I won't read what the second one's about, but let me quickly look the first one up. Bound by an unwanted marriage, Freya spends her days gutting fish but dreams of becoming a warrior and of putting an axe in her boorish husband's back. Freya's dreams abruptly become reality when her husband betrays her to the region's Jarl, landing her in a fight to the death against his son, Bjorn. The reason this fits the prompt is obviously Freya is a Norse goddess. So it technically fits the prompt of myths. And from what I've heard, this is inspired a little bit by Norse magic. I didn't realize we had like a trials type thing though. That's really fun. So I feel like I'm gonna go with this series. I'm just really intrigued with this series and I just have a feeling that I'm really gonna like it. So I think we're gonna go with A Fate Inked in Blood. The cover's also amazing. I'll put the first one up here. I just am absolutely obsessed with them. The artwork is great. So yeah, should we go with this one? Let's put this one on the TBR for myths and everything like that. I hope it does have myths. I hope I'm not just like seeing Freya and putting something in my mind from like one person that said something. We hope so. All right, let's pick our final prompt for the month. A genre that you don't usually read. I usually stick to fantasy and romance. Those are my two, and like romantasy, but I feel like that's the same genre. Those are my two comfort genres. I now and then will go into thrillers. So genres that I don't read is probably gonna be anything in contemporary fiction, historical fiction, idea for one that we could read. Crime, I don't really read a lot of crime, which is kind of funny. I watch a lot of documentaries. I'm looking on Kindle Unlimited real quick, but I also don't read like dark romances, but I feel like I'm gonna stay away from that genre for now. A great one could be The Nightingale by Christian Hannah. The amount of people that have been begging me to read this book for such a long time, and it's just not what I usually read. So that is definitely a really good option. I feel like The Nightingale is gonna be a really good option. Oh, we can do on Kindle Unlimited categories. Let's go literature and fiction. Why is it coming up with thrillers and why is this just all the stuff that I read? Also the option of The Wedding People. I've been seeing so many people read this recently, and I think this is also contemporary fiction. Just, I don't usually read books like that. I don't know why. I feel like I should get into them more. Usually I need something quite stimulating to keep me like into it, but I do want to like broaden my horizons a little bit. So The Wedding People is also a good option. I've seen quite a few people been reading it recently. Another option on my bookshelf is Taboo. This is actually a non-fiction, so this is really outside my comfort zone. And it's a vulnerable exploration of modern womanhood that weaves deeply personal stories with opinions and advice on sex, friendship, family, career, and beyond. I'm not very good at reading self-help books, I'm not gonna lie. But I do think it's important to read these kind of books, especially in like your 20s and everything like that, just to kind of relate to things and help you figure out things. I feel like you guys get mad if I didn't choose Nightingale, and honestly I'd probably be a little mad at myself because every time I say to someone that I haven't read that book yet, they look at me with just a shocked expression on their face. So I think we're gonna have to go with The Nightingale. I feel like that gives us a pretty good TBR. Yeah, let's go with The Nightingale. That gives us a good TBR. Let's run through it. Okay, the first book we have is Two Sides to Every Murder. This is a cute little thriller that we'll hopefully read pretty quickly. A reread of Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. You guys already know. I am so excited about this one. What Blooms in Death. I am actually really intrigued by this one, and I love reading fantasy books that I haven't heard about or haven't seen other people read. Us Against You by Frederick Backman. A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. And of course, The Nightingale by Christian Hannah. So I feel like this is a pretty intense TBR, but I think we'll have a good time. I think it'll be fun. I'm really excited. Let me know in the comments if you have any exciting reads coming up this month. I feel like this time of year is great everywhere. Like for us, we're going into spring. For you guys, you're going into autumn. Like it's really fun. So yeah, let me know if you have any books you're looking forward to reading this month. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. TBR videos honestly just never get old. I love them so much. But yeah, thank you for watching today's video. If you watched till the end, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a good reading month, and I hope August was a wonderful reading month for you as well. And I will see you in the next video.